in 3D. We've got our lights set up. We've extruded everything. Next, I'm going to show you about animating the camera and animating the lights. So I'm going to start with where I want the camera to end up. Sometimes it's always better to work backwards. So I'm going to change the transform properties. I'm going to just click all these because I'm playing it safe. Because watch, so your camera tool's up here. And there are 4 basic camera tools. Unified camera, orbit camera, track, and Z-space. I'll go over those real quick. Again, we did it in when we were doing 2.5D. The 3 that we're going to be using is the unified camera. That's going to move everything. I'm going to move it over to the side a bit so you can start seeing the extrusion and the bevel better like this. So that's what the unified camera did. And look, you see how these settings change, but not my rotation. So if I press the C key, it'll give me the orbit camera. And it's only changing the position, not the point of interest. The unified camera was not moving the point of interest either because we weren't animating that. Track moves from side to side or up and down. So if I want to move this over to the side, I'm holding down shift as I drag. Like once I start dragging, I'm going to move this up a little bit. Like that. So it's a little bit more center of the screen. That's your pan and tilt. I mean pan and drag. Here's your zoom. You could zoom in and out by moving closer or further away. So once again, I know I said the name of that tool wrong, and it is track X and Y. So I'm just going to move that right there. Okay, that's where I want my camera to end up. Now, where do I want it to start? Let's have it just like this. So I'm going to select these 2. So here's the motion it's going to do. Like that. That's our motion. I'm going to smooth it out so I get a better easing of it. So what I did was I just hovered over it, right-clicked, keyframe assistant, easy ease. They're eased. Now I'm going to use my graph. I'm going to want to slow into here. I'm grabbing the yellow. Oh, wait, let me make sure what graph I'm in. Yeah, speed graph. Okay. Now I've got the yellow ball handle. I'm only moving the yellow ball, not the square. And you see it's changing the shape. So it's going to go quickly into here and then slow down into there. I want the most extreme. This is the furthest it'll go. So this is the slowest movement into the final resting space. That's what I want. So that's going to be the motion, and it's going to get slower and slower until the camera rests, which is what you want to happen in when you're moving the camera. You want it to be deliberate. You could always animate the rotation if you want. I'm just going to do this real fast to show you what it looks like. X, you're going to be flipping the camera that way. Y, you'll be moving it on the y-axis, side to side. So X is off of the bottom, Y is up and down, and Z is going to be like you're just twirling it in air, like that, like it's doing a somersault or a cartwheel. So that's if you want to animate those. And as I mentioned before, the first number when you're animating rotation, 0x, if you want to do 2 full circles along, let's say the z-axis, you would keyframe it. So you'd start at where you want it and do 0x, then go to where you want your, sorry I hit the mic stand, then go to where you want your 2 circles and make that 2x. So I'll just show you what that would look like. So I'm going to click right here, add a keyframe, and let's say right here I wanted to do 2 full circles, which is ridiculous. So there you see it doing 2 full circles and then stopping. Nope, it's going to continue doing the circles because of the 0 right here. So it's going 0, 2 circles, then back to 0. So I'm going to get rid of that. So now it's doing the 2 circles into there. So that's just what that would look like and how to animate full circles. I'm going to get rid of that just because it's pretty ridiculous. So that's moving the camera. Now moving the lights. Say the front light. I'm going to Well, I add a new light, so I'm going to add a point light. This is where you change it right here. There's spot, parallel, point, ambient. I'm going to make a point light. This one, I'm going to make it hot pink. Crank that up. Make it a bigger radius right there. Inverse squared. Okay. Shadow diffuse. Turn that up. Now you can see where that's... let's see. Here it is up here at the top. So I'm going to bring that down in Z space. So as the camera moves, it's still in the scene. Now the point light doesn't have the cone that you can animate or any of that. So I'm going to start the position here, go to about the middle. Let's move this down. See how the color's changing as I'm moving it in Z space? Put that there. Now it's going underneath. And then I'll have it rest there. So as this animates, and I'll just ease all these just so it's smoother motion. And rather than just click and drag, you can always, like I said before, just click the word position to select all of them, hover over it, right click, easy ease. And you can see the colors change from how the lighting is changing and the intensity all right there. I'm going to fit this to window. So that is animating the lights and the camera in 3D space. So what's left is to just change the quality of my lights, but I'm going to add, before I do that, I'm going to add a solid to the background. That'll be for the next video because I'm trying to keep these short so it's easier to digest the new information.